It is time for our daily edition of Litter Media Live. I'm Dan Ramey, back in studio with the icon Mike Smith and Mr. Hand 2, a.k.a. Aaron Glandon. Is he on camera today?
Hey!
He is. He looks so much smaller than we are, doesn't he? It looks like a little guy. And he's not kicked back, relaxed.
It's because I'm leaning back a little bit. That's why I'm
not like you were the other day.
If I belly up to the bar.
Yeah, there you go. We like it when he does that. All right, good to have you with us here today. Coming up in a moment, we'll share some of the news stories that are happening across our territory and sports, as well as this date in a special this date in history for you, which it was pretty special with Mike's Chrysler Building drawing the other day. You still have that?
It's right over here. I'll go get it.
Give him my Volkswagen. I'm more proud of that one. If I'd have left the gargoyles off of it, I think I'd have been okay.
You shouldn't be proud of either of them.
I have seen vehicles like this, but that doesn't look anything like a Volkswagen.
I needed a more slanted windshield.
It looks like one of those, it should say milk on the side, like a milk delivery truck.
Yeah.
And this was almost obscene. When I saw it, I thought, is that really what I think it is?
Your version of the Chrysler Building, it was very good. I wish I'd have had it for showtime.
Well, I wasn't pleased with it, and I decided not to send it.
It was much better than that.
It was like 3:30 in the morning when I drew that.
I think people would have known it was the Chrysler Building. They couldn't make heads or tails of mine, obviously.
All right, so stick close for this date in history as we wrap up the program. All right. Let's first take a look at the forecast. Are you going to be dodging showers with your broadcast today?
Actually, I think we're going to get a little bit of a respite today. Sunny skies, partly sunny skies today. Temperatures up around 74, but the rain gets back into the picture most of the day on Friday night. I think we're going to get maybe an early shower Saturday morning, and then throughout much of the day Saturday, other than the overnight early morning showers, I think it'll be partly sunny with temperatures on Friday, Saturday in the mid-60s, and I think back into the 70s with some sunshine on Sunday.
Yeah, what I've been hearing from the forecasters in Columbus is summer returns come Monday. So we'll have that summer-like forecast for you in the next week. But until then, we'll enjoy what we have. And we enjoy the cooler temperatures because the hot is coming. No question there. All right. Coming up in a moment to look at news. But first, let's tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. 740-253-8389 is the number to call if you have need for a dumpster, whether it's at home or at your business. They can take care of both. 740-253-8389 for Scioto Valley Dumpsters.
Dixie Chopper. Speed when you need it.
Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit DixieChopper.com.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
Find a career you love with Chillicothe-Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Chillicothe-Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Seeing that advertisement behind the Reds during their Kansas City Royals battle that they had this week. They're on to something else now, getting ready for the Chicago Cubs. Details in sports. But first, let's tell you about where you can find some of the stories we're sharing. It's right here on littermedia.com. You'll also find all of our social media contact information. There's even a player for Litter Media Radio, which will be important for Mike's broadcasts of high school baseball later today, all available at littermedia.com.
Top of the news, the Chillicothe-Ross Community Foundation has announced winners of scholarships for this past school year. Over $150,000 in scholarships awarded to students across Ross, Pike, and Pickaway counties, according to CEO Scott Graham. You can find the names of each of those winners and the particular scholarship they won within the link on our website story at littermedia.com. The Fairfield County Health Department has announced a community partnership with Jesse Jones, a local State Farm agent in Lancaster, in recognition of Safe Kids Month this May. The collaboration is part of the FCHD's leadership of the Safe Kids Coalition of Fairfield County, a local coalition affiliated with Safe Kids Ohio, which is dedicated to preventing unintentional injuries among children. This year's focus for Safe Kids Month is household safety, and the coalition is taking action to address an often overlooked danger in the home, carbon monoxide poisoning.
I think it's easy to say this guy has been around for 20 plus years coming to Chillicothe. John Berry, he is back at it again. You can see that Chillicothe is on the list for December 16th for his 29th annual Christmas with John Berry presentation. This will be at the Majestic Theatre here in Chillicothe, December 16th. No ticket information just as yet, but details you can find more. Even if you go to johnberry.com, you'll be able to find something there as a teaser, but I believe tickets will also be available through the Majestic Theatre website.
I wonder if he's a Michigan fan. Did you see they had one stop in Ohio here and 3 stops in Michigan?
I did not.
Yeah.
I see
Hastings, Fremont, and
Oshkosh.
oh no, that's Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Georgia's getting 3, maybe, and then I can't make out what the last stop is.
I think that's Alabama.
Georgia's got 4.
4 for Georgia.
Yeah, because he opens up at Sugar Hill, Georgia.
I'm imagining he's a Southern boy, so
Yeah.
he's probably favoring that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, news out of the governor's office. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine has announced the launch of a new media campaign to encourage parents to spend quality time practicing safe driving skills with their new teen drivers. Listen, parents, get over the fear of riding with your kid. You're going to have to do this eventually, and they'll be taking you to doctor's appointments and things like that at some point in time. But the campaign produced by the Ohio Traffic Safety Office draws parallels between the amount of time teens spend learning to drive and time devoted to practicing the other activities like soccer and ballet and things of that sort. But if you think about it, it's important to get in that vehicle. And I don't know how many people actually spend. Is it a requirement of like 50 hours that you have to spend with these kids? You need to document that and find it out for sure. I don't remember mom and dad doing that with me, but I had plenty of time with a driving instructor. Right. Not everybody has that. Or the ability to go to a driving school. So make sure that you are spending that quality time with your kid in the vehicle, despite whether or not you come out alive. No, I'm kidding. It's just I remember driving with Dan Jr., and we went down to a place in down along 32 to get pizza. And as we're coming back, he's driving. He sees a state patrolman who had someone pulled over. Well, that state patrolman finishes with the car, and so that car pulls out in front of us and drives on, and then we pass the patrolman, and he comes out, and he's just watching the rearview mirror the whole time. And I'm like, son, just focus on the road ahead of you. Don't worry about him behind you. Yeah, but I said, no, just so you got to go through that with your kids.
Only if their strobe lights come on do you need to concern yourself.
Right. Yes.
Speaking of travel, we're on the road in Jackson County. Work on State Route 327 between 32 and Wellston Industrial Park Road still continues. Work will occur daily for this construction. Route 327 is closed in that area for the duration of the project, with the detour via Wellston Industrial Park Road to Fairgreens Road.
All right, coming up in a moment, a look at sports and the all-important This Date in History. But first, let's tell you about our friends at Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. If you've got a need in your home for the heating, the cooling, or it's too wet, they can take care of that for you. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website at littermedia.com, and it takes you to AccurateHVAC.com.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When insuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
The spring sales event at Hometown Motors Incorporated continues through this week. New riding tractors starting at $1699.99. New zero-turn mowers starting at $3399.99. New walk-behind starting at $399.99. You can get new chainsaws starting at $279.99. New blowers starting at $199.99. New trimmers starting at $229.99. You want to hurry in for the best selection because we've been seeing them go off the shelves, go off the floor. They're all moving out into somebody's yard. Why not your yard? Find out more at Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe. At Hometown Motors, your store for the outdoors. And before we get to sports, I want to remind you, coming up in a moment, it is our Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We'll announce that shortly.
All righty. Let's jump into the high school tournament scoreboard last night. Some surprises. Division II baseball district final. This was a wild one. Taze Valley outlasted Dublin Scioto 5-4 in 12 innings. So the Vikings are headed to the Sweet 16. Maybe a surprise to some. Baseball D3 district final. Jackson had lost only one game all year. Last night, Circleville, who's hot, they beat the Ironmen 5-2. They advanced to the Sweet 16.
That caught my eye last night when I was looking at the scores. I'm like, wait a second, what?
Yeah. Miami Trace had been waiting for the winner of this ball game because it was suspended the day before. This is out of the East District in the D3 District Semi. Dover beat Tri-Valley 6-4. We'll talk about that next matchup for them in a moment. Division 5, this one was a shocker. St. Trace was upset by Minford 10-2. Ironton blanked South Point, Valley over Fairland, Wheelersburg beat Wellston, and up in the Central District, Fredericktown over Amanda. I believe they still go by the Freddies, 7-1 the final. Also out of the Central District, D6 District baseball semi, West Jeff over Fairfield Christian, 1-0. Now here's what's on tap today on Litter Media Radio. We have a doubleheader for you from Ohio University in Athens. Miami Trace will take on the Crimson Tornadoes of Dover at 2 o'clock. That's for the D3 District Championship. There was more than one D3 winner out of the Southeast District. This is the second one of those. That's a 1:50 airtime for a 2 o'clock first pitch. And then later this afternoon in the Division 4 District Championship, it's a battle of SVC foes. Unioto against Westville. Unioto beat them twice during the regular season. We'll see if the Mustangs have some magic in their bats today. 4:30 first pitch, 4:20 airtime, unless the first game moves that time back. That would not be something completely unusual. But Litter Media Radio will have that. Now on to softball regional semifinal actions. Division I regional semis. These are all semis for yesterday. Lancaster beat Olentangy. Dublin Scioto got revenge from the baseball game, beating the Lady Vikes 4-2. Taze Valley was the top seed, and they're out. Bloom Carroll thumped Hartley, 19-6. It'll be a Southeast District battle for the D4 Regional Championship. Hillsborough beat Morgan, Logan Elm over Meadowbrook. D5 winners were Wheatersburg over Piketon, Wellston, and Liberty Union, the defending state champs. Division 6, West and Coal Grove postponed. They'll pick that game up today, but instead of playing at Ohio University, they've moved it to Rock Hill High School. Division 6 regional semis have Notre Dame taking on Conotton Valley, and Sims Valley a winner over Newark Catholic.
You said 6, but I think it's 7.
7 what? Division 7.
Division 7.
Division 7.
And a lot of divisions there.
A lot of divisions, yes.
Yes.
Now, the OHSAA Boys State Tennis Tournament gets underway today. From our area going up to the College of Worcester, Logan Elm doubles team Maddox Arledge and Mason Wolf will play a team out of Cuyahoga Valley Christian. In singles play, Jackson's Landon Smith opens play against an individual from Pepper Pike Orange. Good luck to all of those in the OHSAA tournament. Used to be over at Mason. They've had to go to the College of Worcester the last couple of years because of construction at Mason. I think the plan is to go back to Mason next fall for the girls tournament.
That's a nice trek up to Worcester.
Yep.
The OHSAA regional track and field meets get underway. They actually are underway, aren't they?
Today's the first day.
Okay, prelims and
you're right.
Some
prelims. Yeah,
some field events will be done today as well. Ross County Special Olympics had their district meet this week, and athletes qualifying for state competition, which will be June 13th through the 15th. Congratulations to them. If you click on this, I believe we have it on our Facebook page, you'll see nearly 300 photos of the athletes in action. Chillicothe Paints in Johnstown fell 5-3 yesterday. They'll open up at home tonight, complete with fireworks and more, as they take on Rex Baseball. The first pitch will be at 7:05. The gates open up at 6:05. Reds and Royals wrapped up their series yesterday. Reds missed a sweep. They fell 3-2. They're really starting to come on with their batting, though. Starting to see Spencer Steer. I think he was like 3 for 4 yesterday. And Benson had a nice day. And again, Elid in the Cruz is making things happen. And what about Stevenson? He was 3 for 3 yesterday. So things are looking up for the Reds, but they've got a lot to climb to get back. They're 7.5 games behind the Cubs, and that's who they'll be facing this weekend. And the Guardians and Dodgers going at it again. The Guardians beat the Dodgers 7-4. And that's a look at sports. Yep. Coming up in a moment, our Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. Sit close for that. And also just around the corner, we'll check in with this date in history. All coming up.
We want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane. No bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about their metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our Kingston National Bank mobility app today.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
And time now to announce this week's Litter Media Petland Pet of the Week. It is Ellie Mae. There's Ellie Mae. Ellie Mae's parents adopted her from Petland back in February. She's been such a joy, as we are being told by her owner, and that is, again, hey, he's getting it for me here. Was it Darby Webb? Does that sound right? Okay. Darby Webb. She loves to roughhouse with the 6-year-old Yorkie named Pete as well. She's tiny but mighty, and she definitely loves to play and wrestle. And according to Darby, she says, I don't think she is scared of anything. They recently went on a road trip with Ellie to see grandparents down in Nashville, Tennessee. She loves to ride. They spent the night in a hotel, and for the first time for Ellie Mae, and she made it through, slept in her bed all night, jumping bed to bed, back and forth. She's part Papillon, part cat, part bird, part monkey, it seems like as well. But there you see those beautiful ears popped up, and that tail is most likely wagging. Ellie Mae is our Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. Congratulations. Now, if you have a pet you would like to nominate, simply send that to littermedia@gmail.com. Make sure you tell us about your pet and also add a photo so we can share that beautiful pet for you too. Your pet can have 4 paws, it can have hooves, it can slither, it can crawl like a spider. If you got a pet, tell us about your pet. littermedia@gmail.com. And at the end of the year, we'll pick a Petland Litter Media Pet of the Year, and you'll get a prize from Petland. Time now for this date in history.
On this date, 1942, Bing Crosby records Irving Berlin's White Christmas. This soundtrack will be going into the movie Holiday Inn, which co-stars Fred Astaire. Mm-hmm. The Oscar-winning song has since sold an estimated 50 million copies, jingling its way to become the best-selling single ever. The movie of the same title, starring Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye, the story was completely different than Holiday Inn. Mm-hmm. But that came out in 1954, but used the name of the song as the title, White Christmas.
So why are we saying Marty Ford? It's because he portrayed the character that Bing Crosby played in White Christmas several years ago through the Chillicothe Civic Theatre. And I thought, why not bring this back? So you see, he and Matthew Harper was the part of Danny Kaye, and Marty Ford was the part of Bing Crosby.
Did he croon like Bing?
Oh, he did. It was amazing. Yeah. He had women just falling all over him. It was incredible.
So there you have it.
And you can find that on our YouTube channel.
Yes, that is on our YouTube channel. You can go back and see it and find out more. We went behind the scenes, talked with some of the actors. And Taria Maynard, who we lost last year or the year before, she played a great part in this, and you'll want to see that. So if you want to go down, take a trip down memory lane, White Christmas, and forever emblazed on littermedia.com. All right, that's a look at what's going on for you today. Mike's got a broadcast to get to. You're going to Athens today?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Safe travels, my friend.
Thank you.
All right, and listen for him on Litter Media Radio about 1:50. Is that correct?
For the first game, yes.
Okay, for game 1. He's conserving his voice because he's got 2 games to do. If you've never done baseball by yourself before,
probably get a bite out of town because I won't get a chance to eat till after 7 o'clock. So I got to grab something on the run.
So if you see Mike, throw a sandwich at him, would you?
Yeah.
They do grill up over there at Bob Wren Stadium.
Hot dogs, yeah.
Oh, they've got some nice food over there.
Not having the time to go get it between games, yeah.
Right. And that's it for today's program. For Aaron Glandon and for Mike Smith, I'm Dan Ramey. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Back at it again tomorrow with another edition of Litter Media Live.